Since 2007, I've worked at several nursing homes here in the Illinois Tri-County area. And sad to say, I've witnessed tons of elderly abuse, most of it being neglect, but I have witnessed abuse. And today I'm just going to inform you on what elderly abuse is. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, every year, 1 out of 10 elderly undergo some sort of abuse or neglect in their own home, in hospitals, in nursing home, usually committed by a family member or a caregiver or a close friend. Abuse is defined by the CDC as the intentional act or failure to act by another person toward an older person being 60 or more, which has or may cause injury or harm. There are several different forms of abuse, one form being physical abuse, and that is the use of physical force resulting in acute or chronic illness, physical pain, or bodily harm or injury. Examples of that would be hitting, biting, choking, shaking with or without an object. Those are forms of physical abuse. Another kind of abuse would be sexual abuse or sexual contact, and that's defined as the forced or unwanted sexual interaction of any kind with or without clothing. Even if the victim is incapacitated and incompetent of giving informal approval, that's still considered sexual abuse or contact. Another form would be emotional abuse. And emotional abuse is defined as verbal or nonverbal behavior resulting in mental pain, fear, or distress. Examples of emotional behavior would be humiliating an older individual, sometimes by calling them names, good or bad, in your head. Pet names like hun or sweetheart. Sometimes that can be insulting to older individuals, and they just don't like that. They like to be simply called by their name, or Mr. or ma'am or sir, or, something of that nature. It's not always okay to call somebody hun or babe, even though you think that's okay, or in habit you do that. It's not okay. That's actually abuse. Another example would be to threaten an older individual. That's a type of emotional or psychological abuse. Isolating or controlling them, telling them what they can or can't do. That's never good. Another form would be neglect. And neglect is failure to protect from harm or meet the needs for essential medical care or hygiene or basic activities of daily life. Neglecting results in compromising health of that individual or safety and security. I mean, it shouldn't happen, and I've witnessed it a lot in the nursing homes. And a lot of it has to do with staff issues. Some of it is due to an individual being burnt out of a job and just simply not caring how they treat that individual. But what I always would want to encourage people to think is, to what if this was your mother or your parent? So that's something to keep in mind when you are caring for somebody. Another type of abuse is financial or exploitation, and that is improper, illegal use of a person's resources, belongings, assets, or depriving them of these things, or information about it. Telling somebody, you can't know anything about what I spent of your money. That's abusing the situation. According to the National Centers on Elderly Abuse, women and much older elderly are more likely to be victimized. These are serious problems and harmful to these people. So I mean, it's a real issue. It's sad, but it's a real issue. So there are several ways of reporting this. One primary, or I'm going to say one common agency is Adult Protective Services. Amongst them, there are several different hotlines, other agencies. They can all be, you can easily find them on the internet. There's many different books that educate you on elderly abuse and how to report them. So there you have it. Thank you for watching.